I cannot believe it, man. I cannot believe it. They ran out of time. Who snitched? Who snitched on where Yoshida live at? There's only a few people who know where Yoshida live at. That's Goto, Mishima, Asami, and Yaguchi, right? There's only a few folk who know where my boy Yoshida live at, and Sayu's brother found him. So how did this happen, right? How did this happen? Now, we know for sure that Sayu's brother is not a bad person. I've learned this within the last week, that Sayu's brother is not a bad person because, you know, I've had a few pull up on the videos and tell me, you know, spit some facts, and we've confirmed those facts. So Sayu's brother is not a bad person, but god damn, just after the cool festival, right? Just after the festival, this happens. That's crazy. What's going on, everybody? It's Damo Senpai, and we are here to talk about episode 8 of HigeHiro. We are nearing the end, my friends. We are nearing the end of the series, and it sucks, right? You hate to hear it, you hate to see it, you hate to feel it, because this is something that we've really with. All of us that have been watching this together, to see that we got like 4 episodes left, and next week, right? Next week it said it's past. So I'm assuming that Yoshida's gonna have a conversation with her brother. It's gonna consist of what happened and how she got to running away, I'm assuming, right? That's what it has to be. There's no other way around it. And if Yoshida tries to do something, like if he tries to tell him, nah, man, she's gonna stay here, I think she's better off here than going back with you, her brother could just be like, I know where you live at. I'm a CEO too. He's the CEO of his company. That shit sucks. I will tell the cops if you don't, you know, relinquish my sister to me type stuff, right? That's what I can picture what will happen, but we'll save that for when we actually get there. If you are new to the channel and have yet to subscribe, hit that link tree, man. I implore all of you to hit that link tree. It'll help you subscribe to the YouTube channel. It'll show you where all my other social medias are. It'll help you get around to getting around, you know? It's important that I state that subscribing is free, because unlike Twitch, you don't have to pay to watch me. It's free. All it costs is time. So yes, subscribing to me on YouTube is free. That'll help me on my way to becoming a full-time content creator. That's all I want. I'm not looking for a specific sub count. I'm not looking for any of that anymore. I just want to become a full-time content creator so that way I can do what I love and potentially venture out from there and do things that are related to what I love, but actually help everybody else in the long run. For instance, if I was to get a partnership with like Right Stuff and I have a code that could give y'all 20% off y'all purchase, that would be fire, would it not? But that comes with time. We have to work our way up there. If you want to help me do all of that, it would benefit you to hit the subscribe button. I know y'all support me, and I love that y'all support me the way y'all do. I appreciate all that. But let's get into this episode, man, because a lot of shit happened. It was a lot of minor things, like minor nuances that I think will play a big role later on in how things play out, because I have a multitude of ways that this could play out. The episode started out with Sayu, you know, it started off with Sayu's brother pulling up at the store and Yaguchi, you know, telling her like, oh man, well, you know, now you don't have as much time as you think you do. And this is weighing all on Sayu's head. The entire episode, it weighs on her head, which is so unfortunate, right? Because it's making her speed up the process when she's not ready. All of that happens. She runs into Mishima at the store. And I think that it's important to note, not only did she run into Mishima at the store, she also spotted her brother from a distance. So Mishima potentially being a suspect in who snitched is highly relevant right now. And you know, it's smooth jazz right now, baby. Smooth jazz. They just having a cool conversation. Bow, sees her brother in the distance. Mishima's like, oh, that's somebody you don't want to see? All right, well, let's go. Let's go do some karaoke. They kicking it, they chopping it up, you know, shooting the shit or whatever. Mishima's just like, look, man, I know what's going on. I heard majority of it from Yoshida, so you don't have to tell me unless you want to tell me. And then Mishima got to doing some Mishima bullshit, right? Got to wave that shit. Nah, that's Tekken terms. She just got to doing some Mishima shit like, oh, look, you need to reevaluate what's going on. You need to evaluate the fact that you're psychologically dependent on Yoshida. Yoshida's psychologically dependent on you. I need you to evaluate all of that. Mishima tells Yoshida like, oh yeah, you know, we're having a good time. We're doing karaoke. So if you want to join us, come join us. That took the weight off of Sayu's shoulders because she was trying to figure out how to tell Yoshida what was going on without like specifically divulging what's going on. Which I commend her on doing what she did this entire episode. We'll get to that in a minute. Yoshida pops up, right? The jealousy in Mishima's face said everything that we needed to know. It explained everything because he was looking at her in ways that, you know, he doesn't even look at Goto. And it hurts Mishima because Mishima feels like, this is important for me to state this, Mishima feels like she loves him more than anybody. But I feel like love and infatuation are two different things, and I feel like she's heavily infatuated with Yoshida as opposed to really, really loving him. Because if you really loved him, you would want the best for him. And you can't feel like you're the best for somebody without knowing how that other person truly feels. That's just based off of experience. I've had multiple relationships in my life, and not all of them worked, obviously, as you can tell. They haven't all worked, but every girl that I've been with, there's been reasons as to why I fell for them and why we departed. And you learn about relationships throughout the whole thing. You know, it's a lifetime, it's a life process. Mishima broke down. Like that whole situation 100% hurt Mishima again. And this is where you start to see Sayu is rushing things because she knows that she's out of time. They start walking down the street. Yoshida, is there anything that you would like to do? He's like, nah, not really. I don't know if Yoshida was picking up on any of the vibes that Sayu was giving off because she was giving off mad I'm running out of time vibes. She spots the festival thing. They're like, oh yeah, cool, let's go to this festival. They pop up at the festival. Sayu got a yukata on. I don't know what's the obsession with nape, right? Like the back of the neck. I don't know what's the obsession in anime or if that's just like an obsession in Japanese culture, but the nape of the neck is always like something they talk about heavily. All types of stuff like that. It's a weird concept, but I would love to understand like why that is. I kind of have an idea, but we'll get into that at a different time. They're at the festival. Sayu got her yukata on. Seeing her mature as a young adult is so cool. And I think that wasn't a sense of like, I'm in love with this character. I think it was a sense of, wow, she's really growing up and I can see it. I think that's what I think in regards to Yoshida, but I'm probably 100% wrong. That's just what I want to believe. Sayu divulges some information saying I've never been to a festival. They wouldn't take me, which is kind of fucked up. And it lets you know like, man, Sayu never really got to experience anything growing up, which fucking sucks. That's what makes this story so good, because now she's getting to experience things in life that she never would have gotten to. It's vice versa, right? Yoshida is starting to experience things in his life that he never would have been able to had he not met her under that lamppost, right? It's a symbiotic relationship. Yeah, so it's a mutually beneficial symbiosis, right? I just say it like that. That sounds crazy as hell, because a symbiotic relationship, at least one person's benefiting. But since they're both benefiting, it's mutual. Yoshida realizes this as they're watching the fireworks, right? He comes to that realization as they're watching the fireworks. It goes silent for a second and he feels like he lost Sayu because he was so lost in his own thoughts. He was lost in his own mind thinking about how much Sayu has helped him get out of a rut that he's been in for God knows how long. And Sayu understands that, right? Sayu's just like, would you feel sad if I disappeared? I think it's important to note this because usually when you say something by accident, it's exactly what you're thinking. And he was like, yes. That struck a chord with Sayu because I feel like that's something that she wanted to hear. She really wants to know if Yoshida wants her around like long term, right? That's the thing. And Yoshida, same way. He was having those thoughts, which I think he might be capping in this sense where Sayu was just like, do you think I should go home? I think that's what she said. I'm not sure. And he said, yes, I think you should go home. And I don't know if he was capping because he hesitated. And usually when you hesitate, that means you got to think. And usually when you're thinking and it takes you a minute to say what you said, usually it's a lie. They just chilling, they kicking it, walking home, all of a sudden get to the next day. Boom, boom, boom. Open the doors. ATF. Crazy, right? The brother pulls up. And this is what I said at the beginning of the episode. How in the hell did he know where Yoshida stayed at? How the hell did he know she was staying with Yoshida first and foremost, right? That's what we need to know. It's not about how he found the place. It's who he found out from. And this is where I go into my ideas of Mishima out of jealousy because she's seen who was there. She's seen who that was. I don't know if she knew it was Sayu's brother. I don't even think she divulged that it was, I don't even think Sayu divulged that it was her brother. That was just somebody that she ain't want to see. Mishima's kind of up there. Yaguchi 1,000,000%. Scumbag. Got the card from him and everything. But could potentially be Yaguchi. Asami, she's out the picture because Asami is a cool support character. I don't think she would ever do something like that. Goto, I don't think would ever do something like that either. I'm leaning towards Yaguchi and Mishima, more Yaguchi than anything, because he'll do whatever he can to get what he wants. And that's how the episode ended, man. And Sayu was in hella shock. She could not believe what was happening. She couldn't believe that her brother found her. Neither could I, because I was like, bro, how the fuck did that happen? And that's how the story ends, man. That's how episode 8 ends. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new. If there's any information that they didn't tell us or was cut out, make sure you let me know in the comment section below. If this is an anime original, make sure you let me know down below, because this all plays a part in what could potentially be a great outcome, a good or bad outcome. I'm looking forward to next episode. That's next week. I got a lot of videos planned for the week, so make sure y'all stay tuned. But as always, it's your boy Damo Senpai, and I will see you guys in the next video.